Let's jump into it. Last week we talked about the possibility of Japanese superstar Shohei Ohtani joining the Seattle Mariners. Ohtani is an unbelievable talent. He can pitch. He's a right-handed pitcher. He throws, I believe his fastball sits, quote-unquote, sits at 93 to 102 miles an hour. I don't know how that sits at all. I think that thing is moving.
Yeah.
And at the plate, he's a left-handed hitter, and he can just destroy baseballs. I mean, his highlight tapes are unreal. Every single team in baseball is salivating over the opportunity to add this guy to their club. And on Sunday, Ohtani narrowed it down from 30 teams to just 7 teams. And it was reported that our Seattle Mariners are the leaders in the clubhouse. They have one of the best chance, if not the best chance, to land Shohei Ohtani. When I did a little more research about Ohtani, it became kind of almost baffling why he's choosing to come to the major leagues right now. He's 23 years old, super young. If Ohtani were to wait 2 more seasons, he would be eligible for a, unlimited money. He could make whatever any other free agent in MLB would make. Because he's doing this at 23, he would have to sign a minor league contract. That puts Ohtani under club control for the next 6 years, making the league minimum for 3 of those seasons. And his signing bonus, I mean, the Mariners have $1.55 million of international money to spend, whereas the Rangers, another team in that top 7, have $3.53 million. So his signing bonus right now, at the most, from what it sounds like, could be $3.53 million. I mean, money's not a deal for this guy. I mean, it's almost...
Clearly not.
It's literally almost too good to be true, and that's why I've tried to be so hesitant on this. But, rumors are swirling that he's going to sign either today or tomorrow with somebody. Could you believe if it was the Mariners? Like, this is unreal.
Yeah, I don't want to get too excited in case it doesn't happen, especially if you were to go to one of the Mariners' division rivals, like the Angels or the Rangers, who are also in that final 7. But, yeah, I mean, just the possibility of bringing in a superstar, a two-way superstar player, you can really plug him in anywhere in your lineup, anywhere in your rotation, even in the bullpen if you really wanted to. There's just so much flexibility that comes with it. And as you said, with the financial situation being the way it is, the Mariners are currently 13th in payroll. That's not really going to be affected all that much by Ohtani's contract.
No, it's not. And I mean, really, with a look at Ohtani as that guy who can do both, he can pitch and he can hit. It's almost like looking into the future of baseball. If the rosters aren't going to expand, I mean, right now teams are only allowed 25 people on the team at a time, and that gives you what, 4 bench players and like 7 bullpen guys and 5 star. I mean, you don't have a lot of options. So for a player to only be able to do one thing, for a player to only be a starting pitcher like that, the days of that are going to end so soon. And with Ohtani, I think it's almost the start of that. Like, okay, everyone does everything now. You're all just baseball players. We'll figure it out from here. It's wild. The game's
definitely changing. It's still, of course, very rare to have a hybrid player like Ohtani, and even the hybrids that you do have aren't as good as Ohtani is at both things. They're either mostly a pitcher, mostly a hitter. You don't see players who do both of these things this well.
You mentioned that the Angels and the Rangers, obviously American League West division rivals for the Mariners, they're in on this. National League teams are also in on this, and the Giants, the Dodgers, and the Padres are in the mix for this guy as well. And the furthest east, it's either Texas or Chicago Cubs. Those are the other 2 teams he had, that's the 7th team, the Chicago Cubs. I mean, I just can't. I wasn't going to get into it, but like, now I'm all in. Now I want this guy here in the worst way, because it's a legitimate possibility. It's not just, the Mariners could land him. It's like, they're 1 of 7, and a lot of people are saying they check all his boxes. They check everything he wants. He could be the man right now. I mean, I'm at a loss. I don't even know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, looking at last season's numbers for the Mariners as a whole, they were 15th in runs per game. They were 18th in ERA by their starters, 13th in ERA by their relievers. So, I mean, they were just middle of the pack and everything, and adding Ohtani would change that outlook significantly without even having to make any other moves.
I think it would stabilize something more than anything, if that makes sense. I mean, it would, you would hope at 23 years old that he's not an injury guy.
Yeah.
It would be a shame to figure that out, But it's also so low risk because we talked about the money situation. Like, it's not that big of a deal to spend the money. Like, to spend the money it's going to take to sign this guy, which is not a ton. It's not a big deal to get what you're going to get in return.
Yeah.
Wild. Wild. I don't know, man. I hope he signs today. I hope he signs with the Mariners, or I hope he signs somewhere else so we can kind of like move on from it too.
Right. Because don't just keep us in suspense.
It's kind of put the entire offseason on hold. Like, yeah, DePoto's made a couple of moves to add Ryan Healy and guys like that, but I mean, for the most part, everything's been stopped, waiting on this Ohtani news, and then after that, we'll figure it all out. So, I don't know, man. It's exciting.
Should be fun. See how it plays out.